Hello everyone, my name is Claudia. This is my English knitting and spinning vlog podcast, and you are on the Claude Tricot channel. I still don't have this down. It still doesn't roll off the tongue the way my French one does, but it's gonna be there one day because I have 48 vlogs in French done and I only have a few English, so it's normal, right? Okay, so this is my crazy color pop today because it's West Knit Make a Long season. So if you have been in the knitting community for a little while, you know what that means. If you've been on social media in the last few weeks, you know what that means. If you're not, then you don't, and that's fine. I'm gonna explain to you what that means. But for now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Claudia, like I said, and I'm all about color, knitting, spinning, talking. I love talking. So I'm a French-speaking person from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And today it is very hot in Quebec, so I'm wearing this only to kind of flash my slipstravaganza, which was the make along from last year, and now I'm going to take it off because I'm going to be hot if I keep it on. If you are returning viewers, I'm very glad you decided to come back. I do a vlog in French every 2 weeks, and I also do a vlog or / podcast in English every 2 weeks. I've decided to expand my channel into the English side because English is very much part of my life. I have an American husband, so I speak English all the time, and I want to connect to the English speaking community as well. So this is why I'm doing, I feel like I repeat myself every week, every 2 weeks with my vlog and podcast, but I feel like it's important to me to talk to everyone that understands French and English. So here we go. What am I gonna say next? I'm wearing my Rocket Tee. This is a pattern from Tennis La Vallée. It is a beautiful raglan with little yarn over details on the raglan and on the side, like this. It is thick stripes pattern, and I made it even more funkier than just thick stripes by using hand spun, 2 braids of hand spun from Created by LCB. It is 100% BFL, and I spun it half on my wheel and half on my supported spindles, and I had a lot of fun. I did the pattern per the pattern. I did exactly what it said to do, and it turned out chef's kiss. I don't know why I've been doing chef's kiss a lot these days. Is it maybe I'm hearing it from other podcasters, and I don't know, it just came into my life. So I really love wearing it. Even though it's 100% BFL, it is not super hot because of the short sleeves. I love the fact that the only thing you have to do when it comes to the sleeve, once you're done doing the body, is come back to just do an I-cord edging. Very easy. Yeah, if you're thinking about knitting one, go ahead. It's a perfect v-neck. Like you can see, it's not a super deep v-neck, but it's not also a very shallow one. I'm really happy with it. So that's what I'm wearing. Finished projects. I don't have my finished object with me. If you want to see it like in person, if you want to see it in video, you can go check on the French vlog from yesterday and check out when I talk about it, because I have it in my hands when I talk about it. You won't be able to understand me if you don't speak French, but that's okay. But I'll put a picture right here of how it looks. It is the Holly sweater by Anne Rimen. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if I haven't checked again, if she's Danish or Norwegian, maybe Danish. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a beautiful yoke, as you can tell, that is reminiscent of holly. And I knit a version in this gorgeous yarn that doesn't have a name yet, actually, because I'm testing it out for Christine from Art Textile du Témiscouata. It's a 100% East Frisian yarn that is a soft spun. So it is spun a little, like really lightly spun, and it's basically looks like it's single ply, singles, but when you kind of untwist it a bit, you can see that there's like two little like bits. So technically I think it would be a 2-ply, but it's so loosely spun that you can't tell that it's a 2-ply. The pattern recommends using Letlopi. So this is really a good option if you don't have access to it, or if you want to like purchase something different. It's a very like you can see that it's easy to break, but still it has a good resistance, meaning I never had to worry about breaking it when I was knitting with it. It just, you know, if you really pull hard, it comes apart. But I really had no problem knitting it. I knitted it at an Aran weight gauge, just like the pattern suggests with Letlopi. It could be knitted at a tighter gauge. It would make a denser fabric. The beautiful thing with super softly spun yarns and like rustic yarns in general is they can be knitted at different gauges easily. And it like, because the yarn is kind of floofy and a little bit like it has a little bit of a halo, it kind of fills up the sweater. It made a gorgeous like thick wintry sweater. I'm sure like all throughout the months that are not fully winter yet, you could wear it as a like an over, like a coat, almost a jacket. And you could also well, wear it in the house in the winter when it's really cold, if you live in a place like me that gets super cold. The reason I don't have it with me is because I knitted for Christine in order for her to have a sweater from her own yarn that she could also then promote the base. That hasn't it's not out yet on her boutique. It is on the boutique of Les Brebis du Beau Rivage, I believe, because it's their yarn that they manufacture and they send to Christine to dye, and then Christine sends back some of the colorways that are exclusive to Brebis du Beau Rivage to them, and she keeps some colors that are her own colors. So these are the colors I used. I have one here. Where's the other one? These two. And this is Sphalte Trempe, and this is Newport Beach. And I know that those are two very much favorite colors of Christine's collection. She really loves them, so she's very happy with the sweater. And she even posted, if you want to go check it out, on her Instagram. Was it on Instagram or just Facebook? I don't know, but she posted a picture of her wearing it, which made me really happy because I gave it to her yesterday. So these were my leftovers, and she was really, really generous enough to have me keep it. So I think I'm gonna knit a big hat for my husband. It is a little bit prickly. It's rustic, like it doesn't feel soft to the touch, but it also doesn't feel like super itchy. I'm gonna try and knit a big hat, maybe double-stranded, maybe in ribbing for my husband, and see if he can manage to keep it on his head. We'll see, because he doesn't really like rustic, itchy wools, but I think he could get used to it. We'll see. So that's one thing that's done. The second thing that's done, I do not have with me because it's a double project basically, and my kids left for school this morning and they were wearing it. So I made 2 pairs of mitts, and here's a picture of my cute little family hanging out, walking to school on one colder morning, and they both are wearing the Emerald City mitts that are my own design, and the ones that I'm wearing are the original ones. And I used some hand spun coupled with some spin cycle dyed in the wool, and the spin cycle dyed in the wool made these 3 pairs. Like, it's a 45-gram skein, and it made the 3 pairs. So it really you really don't need much. It's a great stash buster for like sport to heavy fingering weight yarns. I really enjoy knitting those. They go so fast. And the pattern's so easy to memorize. Obviously I made it myself, so it's easy for me to memorize, but I'm sure that anybody could do it. It's a mosaic pattern. It's not Fair Isle, so it's really simple. And yeah, I just can crank some for all of my family in no time at all. So that's a lot of fun. And even if she, like, my girls wear them and they, like, after 2 days, they were already starting to show some wear because they don't play, you know, they play a certain way in the schoolyard and then they get a little messed up. And I really don't care because I could make another pair in, 2 days. So that's that. What else? Now I am in the, I really worked hard on that sweater to finish it before today, and I did, so I'm really happy. And then knowing that the make-along season is upon us, I didn't really work on a lot else. I have, as always, a pair of socks on my needles, and this is the second sock of the pair. Where's the other one? Here. Socks I very much use to film tutorials with, because I don't know why, there's something about sock tutorials. Everybody wants sock tutorials on YouTube, so I film a lot of sock tutorials, and I filmed this one on shorties, so 9-inch circular needles. It's patent Croix socks. It's a favorite of mine when I'm not using hand-dyed yarns, and this is purple haze color, and the other one is gray marl, and I did a 2x2 rib, 60 stitches this time. Usually for me I do 56, but I did 60 because those are going to go to my cousin. I did a German short row heel and my regular plain old toes. Yeah, there's really not much to say about those except that I love Patons Croix. I knit them on 2.25 millimeter needle, which is my regular sock needle, and I don't mind the fact that the yarn is thicker. It just creates a denser sock and they wear really nicely. So here we go. Also, my kids are both growing out of their socks, so I'm gonna have to start cranking. And I say cranking as if I had a machine, but I don't right now. I'm gonna start to have to knit more kids socks, because actually my oldest, like right now, my youngest can wear the socks that my oldest were wearing before, generally. But my youngest is the one that wears the most knitted socks, and all of her socks that I had knitted for her last year are starting to be too small. That's the problem with kids. They just keep growing. I wish they would stop. Then they could just keep wearing the things we made them. Yeah. Okay. Then the last thing I'm still working on, I have my Learnsy cardigan that I haven't touched for a few weeks. It's gonna get done, but I'm not gonna show you again because it's, basically I did a little bit on the body and it's looking exactly the same as it was looking last week, so no interest for you there. And yeah, I also have another hat in the making, but it's basically exactly the same one as this one. It's just I'm here, like I'm at the crown shaping, so again, not much interest in showing it to you again. I've been wearing this one a lot. I really like how it fits. And the other one is gonna be one that I'm gonna draw on my membership, the people that are members, brioche members of my channel. So I'm gonna finish this pink lace weight yarn, literally like the 2 skeins of lace weight yarn made me a full sweater and 2 hats where I quadrupled the yarn. On the sweater it was just one strand, but on the hats it's quadruple, 4 strands of the lace weight, and there's still some, like it's never ending. Sorry, lace weight yarn just never ends, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on if you like having leftovers or not. Okay, let's talk about future knits, because I have a few. I realized when I was editing them, because all my information, all the information of what I talk about is in the comment section, not the comment, the description box below the video. And so I put a lot of links to mostly Ravelry. Unfortunately, if you cannot use Ravelry, I'm very sorry. It's really the place where I keep my information. But if you want information on some stuff and you can't click on the link, please reach out, ask me questions. I'll be really happy to respond. But yeah, I realized while I was editing for the French video that I had more future knits on my list of things that I talked about than actual knits on my needles. Oops. But some, it's because they're really like starting now. Like one of them is the West Knit Make Along. So it's called the Shawlography. Here are my yarns. I've shown them to you before, but I'm going to show them again. This, I'm just taking them as I see them. This, and you might see this because I actually cast it on. The clue came up. I'm filming this on Friday and the clue is already out. So I just started, barely started, but I don't want to show you because what I'm going to try and do is show the clue from since I film on Fridays usually, I'm going to try and show the end of, let's say, you'll see clue 1 next week, just as the clue 2 is getting released. So it's not a big spoiler. And for the people that don't do the knit along, I know that they love seeing it on the podcast. So I'm absolutely going to put a timestamp where I'm going to say, you know, if you're doing the knit along and you don't want to see a spoiler, click through to this time. So then nobody gets a spoiler. So here are my colors. They're not completely true to color. Well, this one is beautiful orangey yellow. This is a dark, cool brown, almost gray, almost charcoal. This is like latte color. And these two are coming up a little bit grayer than they actually is. This one has a lot more blue than it shows. Oh, it's more like, yeah, it's like a pale blue gray. It's gorgeous. And this one is like a dark teal gray. Yeah, you can see the teal here. That's really beautiful. So those are my colors. They're Nutiden by Honor Air. And if you know, you know. It's a gorgeous yarn. It is a very difficult to get yarn and it's a very precious yarn. But I have so much of it. I have to knit it. Like I have to. And one thing that I know for a fact is that I wore my Knitted shawl that I made last year from one strand of Knitted. I wore it all winter long because it creates the most airy, light, yet warm and cozy shawl. Like it's the best. So this is an example of a truly fragile yarn, a yarn that is completely unspun. It's basically really small, tiny pencil roving. It doesn't scare me whatsoever. I knitted it a bunch of times. For sweaters, I've knitted it doubled, and that makes it really dense and strong, but super light, and it's amazing. And for the shawl, like I said, I knitted it single strand, and even though while I was knitting it, some sections seemed to be so thin that I thought it would break, it never did. Like I wore it for a full full season, and in Montreal, the cold season is quite long, and I had zero worries about the yarn breaking. And if it does, it is so sticky that it won't unravel. Like I cut a steek into my sweater without having to do any kind of reinforcement, and it does not budge at all. Zero. It's a very sticky yarn. It still has lanolin in it. You can feel that it's still like, it is really soft and itchy, but soft in an itchy way. You know what I mean? What I mean is it's not coarse. Like it feels soft, but then when you put it against your skin, it still has the itch, the prickle factor, which is normal. So yeah, if you want to hear me gush over this yarn some more, let me know. If you're tired of hearing about it, let me know, because like I could speak about this yarn all day, every day, all the time. It's just so pretty. Don't worry, I have enough for 2 more sweaters out of this yarn. So it's not going to be the last time you hear about it. Speaking of which, well, it's in French, so I'm not going to talk about it. Whatever. And also, when I finished the sweater yesterday, I decided to treat myself to winding the yarn for my next sweater, even though I'm doing the West Knit shawl, which is not going to give me a lot of time left to knit sweaters in the next few weeks. But I'm hoping to be able to catch up. Like I'm hoping to be able to finish the clues before the end of the week so I can work on this thing that is called the Spot Sweater by Anne Wenzel. And this is my combo. So these are 3 skeins of mohair. It's Urso Lune. The color is called Pensée, and it's her mohair silk base. What's beautiful about this is, yes, it is a hand dyed, so the color is not exactly the same on each, but it's a sweater where the main color is 3 strands of mohair yarn held together. So I'm holding the 3 of them at the same time, and so I will never have discrepancies in my color all throughout my sweater. Beautiful. And then the contrast color is this beautiful cake. How pretty is that? It is my own hand spun. It's actually the first full skein I spun on my wheel. Very proud of it. It is a 2-ply, and it was a braid by On a Quest for Fiber. And in my French video, I couldn't find the name in my head, so I had to go look it up for today. And it is called Birds Singing in Spring. And it is in springtime, sorry, Birds Singing in Springtime. And it is Falkland yarn. And what I did is I took the braid, I just split it in many, I don't remember how many sections down the middle, and then again the middle, and I just spun it end to end, all of them one after the other, and then I plied it together, which means that some parts match and some parts are very much barber pole. So I think it's gonna make a gorgeous spot sweater. The spot sweater looks like this. So the outside color, the main color, not the outside, but the background color is the mohair, and then the spots, the triangles, are gonna be this self-patterning kind of yarn. So I think it's gonna be a favorite once it's done. The favorite is always the last one, right? I also have in my brain to make a hat for my sister, and I had to try this. This is the bouclé base. It is in alpaca merino cotton, if I'm right. I'm gonna check it because I hate saying things that are not true. And it is a base by it's a collaboration between Julie Asselin and Urso. They got this base made for them, so it's a base that nobody else has. So even though some bases might look similar, they won't have the exact, here we go, the exact same, oh, there's no cotton, I'm sorry, that's the thing. It's 70% alpaca, 30% wool, and then it knits up to a worsted weight. It's their own custom blend, so Urso and Julie Asselin, and then they dye it in their own style, obviously. So I went to Espace Tricot and I bought this one. It's the Cobalt colorway from Julie Asselin. And I'm gonna knit a hat, most likely the Chaco Bouclé from Camille Descoteaux, since she uses exactly this yarn for it. I thought, you know, it's perfect. And I test knitted it, so I already have the pattern. I'm ready to rock and roll with that. It's a top-down hat, which I find super fun to make. It's very different. So this is gonna hop on my needles when the other hat is done. You know, having, basically I'll have a pair of socks, a hat, a shawl, and a sweater on my needles. Makes sense, right? I also have a blanket that I have to finish. Dang. Too many things. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about real quick is I bought something super cute. I went to La Lainerie Lépine I've been really good at not buying yarn, by the way. This is like the first yarn I've bought in a very long time. And this, but this, what I'm about to show you is the cutest thing. It's the smallest, cutest thing you've ever seen. It's like a tiny little mohair roll. At La Lainerie Lépine, they have them all sitting like this on the shelf, like in the stack, and you can see all the colors. It's amazing. It's so cute. It's Concept by Katia, and it's 50 mohair shades. This one is in the shade 41, and it's 20 grams of mohair, and it's a mohair, it's a 67% mohair, 30% polyamide. Anyway, so it's not a mohair silk, which makes it a little bit less expensive, which is good for the budget, and because it's also dyed in a big it's a commercial yarn, right? So it's better for the budget. So it makes you want to have 20 grams of every freaking color and just have it in your stash and just pick out the color you need when you need it. I won't do it, but I really want to. So this is what I have, and it's to pair with this whole like bunch of organic Polworth silk that I spun from Inglenook Fiber, which the colorway was called Walking on Sunshine. And it is a 3-ply mostly. There's a little bit here that's a 2-ply with heavier, one ply is heavier and one ply is very, very thin. But most of it is a 3-ply, and it varies from fingering weight to probably DK, but it's for a shawl. I don't really care. I think I'm gonna mix it up together, and what I'm gonna do is, it kind of fits with this. The name is Augustina Peach Shawl from Paul TB, and then in the middle there's a square, and the square has mohair. So one little 20 grams of mohair should do the trick for the middle, and look how cute it's going to be with it. It's just perfect. So this is going to be another shawl eventually, probably when I finish my Stephen West shawl, you know. Okay, next thing, spinning. Well, I showed you a lot of spinning. This. Yes, I love spinning. And I have this project that, so I bought from Crafty Jack's boutique a kit, which is the Breed and Color Study kit that is sold in collaboration with Woolen Spinning. Woolen Spinning is a podcast and also like a community on YouTube, Patreon, Ravelry, all of this. Ran by Rachel Smith, and the Breed and Color Study happens twice a year, and the second part of the year it always is a carded fiber prep. And so you had many options. You could buy like mini bats type things that were already all blended, or you could buy kits that were what I bought, which is buying 3. It's Jacob. This year, Jacob is a primitive breed, and it's really different to spin than anything I have ever spun. So you could buy like, those are definitely smaller now that I've spun a bit of it, obviously, but a white-ish, more brown taupe, no, not taupe, brown grayish, and a really deep brown that borders black. And then those also came with 5 beautiful colors. So that's also the Jacob, but it's obviously the white Jacob that has been dyed. So these crazy colors. Love it. It's so neat. And then I bought that, not knowing what I was going to do with it. And the whole kit was like 115 grams, I think, of fiber. And I thought, 115 grams, you can't do that much with that. Maybe I would want to make like a cowl or something, and maybe that won't be enough. So I'll also buy this, which was 25 grams of each of the natural colors. So I have 25 grams of the dark brown, 25 grams of the beige, and 25 grams of the light brown. And I'm thinking maybe I'll spin all of the natural fibers from the other bag into some sort of marled yarn or a gradient, or maybe all the white together, all the brown together, all the light brown together. I don't know. And I made, with the original set, I made rolags like these. How cute are they? I made them on my hand card, so I put like dark brown, light brown, white, and then on top of the white I put some color. So I made rolags out of all the colors, and I'm just spinning them one after the other, always in the same order. I'm going like, I think I'm going pink, yellow, blue, green, purple, and then I'm kind of just alternating like that, and it looks like this on the spindles, which is really nice. So there's like the color, the dark, the less dark. That's the yellow. The yellow and the green end up looking very similar. I mean, I can see the difference here, but I don't know. There you go. It's a little bit different. That's also the green. My light is leaving me. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I don't know what I'm gonna make out of it. I'm thinking maybe 200 grams. Maybe I'll have enough to make like a decent sized cowl. I could make the shifty cowl. That'd be really nice. Okay. If you have ideas what I could do with this hand spun, I will take your recommendations. I was thinking originally maybe stripes, like something that has stripes, like and because I could have basically one big skein of the multicolored one and 3 small skeins of the dark, medium, and light. And so maybe I could make big sections of the multicolored and then small sections of the dark, medium, and light, and kind of alternate into some sort of striping sequence. That was my kind of initial idea, but I don't know. I have to start spinning with intention a little bit more. I kind of fall in love with a fiber, and then I spin it, and then I think, oh shit, what am I going to do with it? And then, yeah. Well, I've been good though at like knitting some of it. I think I knit kind of half of what I spin up until now. I'm gonna also be making a lot of baby items because my other sister, this is for one of my sister, my other sister is like 30 weeks pregnant, so she's gonna have a winter baby. She's gonna need knitted items. Exciting. So I'm gonna be making probably you'll probably see in the next few weeks quite a few baby knits. I'm saying that I don't know when I'm gonna put the baby knits in my schedule. I think I have to start making a knitting schedule. I just grab things and I knit it, and then later on I'm like, oh shit, I wanted to do this too. Do you make yourself a knitting schedule? Like, do you have first of all, do you have multiple whips at the same time? And if you do you make yourself a schedule? Like, I have to knit more on this and I have to finish that, or I kind of don't, and then all of a sudden I have too many things to think about, and then I give myself goals like I have to finish the sleeves of this sweater before I can knit on anything else, and then I can, cast on something new, or you know what I mean. Anyway, that's that for knitting. Let's talk about reading a little bit. I'm not going to be spending too much time on it, but just so you know, at the bottom of the descriptions now, and even at the top, there are going to be some links that are affiliate links. They're going to be marked as such. I started having affiliate links with some things because I'm running Clos Tricot is actually my business, and it's actually my main source of income. And so instead of relying only on, YouTube ads and memberships, I've started doing some affiliate links. I won't be putting affiliate links to things I don't use or don't trust or don't believe in. I'm really trying hard to stay close to my values. And so one of the things that I truly think is great are books that are in e-reader format, just because for knitting and reading, for me, it's really the best way to go. So I did link this Kobo, which is the Kobo Clara HD. And I also linked to this sleep cover that I love very much, that just stands on its own with a magnet, and that, you know, allows me to read and knit. And then when I'm done, it just closes like this, and it is the perfect knit reading situation. So I linked to it, and just so you know, if you do buy something through an affiliate link, I get a kickback. So I thought I would let you know, even though it makes me uncomfortable to talk about money and business on the channel sometimes. Whatever. So I've been reading Wuthering Heights. I think I've talked about it the last time. It's a slow going read for me. I'm getting into it, but it's not something I kind of go to with excitement right now. I still want to finish it because, like, I'm almost half, no, I'm not almost halfway, I'm 36% in. Maybe I'll put it on hold and I'll get it, I'll pick it up when I'm in a better mood for that. I don't know. For now, I'll keep reading it and I'll see. It's a little bit slow going for my liking. There's a lot of, like, English is not my first language. So it is an old classic, which means that the English in it is a little bit trickier to read than others. Generally, it doesn't bother me, but right now I'm having some trouble. I think it's because also the chapters are really long, which I don't have the motivation to, like, oh, let's read a chapter, because a chapter is like, takes a while. I also have been knitting like Fair Isle and things that don't allow me to read while I knit, so that's also a little bit trickier. But I've been listening though to, I finished listening to the third book of the Chronicles of Narnia, which is the Caspian Prince, and that was really enjoyable. I really liked that one, but I needed a break from the Chronicles of Narnia for a little bit, and I decided to take the book from the Audible membership. Like, a lot of books are included in the Audible membership, so I did download the Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which is also a classic, and that one I'm really enjoying as an audiobook. I've been listening to it with great pleasure. If you are into descriptive, dark, moody kind of books, I think you're gonna love it. It is a classic for a reason. It has a lot of beautiful thoughts in it that talk about aging and art and nature and people, and I just really am loving reading that book. Also, super cute, I have to show you. My husband's family is very much into books, and my daughter turned 8 2 weeks ago, and my father-in-law sent a gift through the mail, and he sent her this gorgeous edition. I'll show you the whole thing, the sleeve and everything. So it comes in this beautiful sleeve, and it is, I do love beautiful books, like much better than this, but to carry around and to read while you're knitting, like, this has no equivalent. So this is beautiful edition of Howls Moving Castle, and it's written by Diana Wynne-Jones, and we've been reading it with my daughter, meaning she can read and she could be reading it herself. It would just take a lot of time and a lot of effort for her. It's got beautiful illustrations here and there. But what we're doing right now is, well, mostly my husband has been reading it at night for everyone. So we're just all sitting around the table or in the living room, and my husband reads and we're all listening. and feels really nice. And to get someone to read you a book, even when you're an adult, is kind of a special thing. And we said that we would always read it as a family. Sometimes it can be me that's reading, sometimes it's him, and my daughter has also taken over to read a few paragraphs here and there. So if you are a fan of Miyazaki, you obviously know Howl's Moving Castle. It got made into a movie by Miyazaki, which is, I have not seen that one. So I'm hoping to finish reading this book and then watch the movie. My oldest daughter has seen part of the movie, but she never seen the end. And my youngest has not seen the movie. So once we're done reading the book, I'm pretty sure we're going to be watching the movie as a family. My husband hasn't seen the movie either. So yeah, that's a really fun read for the whole family. I think it's a great activity to be taking a middle grade book and just read it all together, because sometimes middle grade, like, they're so entertaining even for adults. So there's really no reason for us to be into it as well. There's no reason for us not to be into it. So that's that. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're knitting on your shawlography if you are knitting it, and I will see you in 2 weeks, which means that no, I'm not going to be showing you clue 1 in 2 weeks. I'm going to be showing you clue 1 and clue 2. I'll be halfway through the shawlography. So yeah, it's a long weekend this weekend in Canada. If you're in Canada, it is Thanksgiving weekend, so we have plans on going to walk and hike and go spend time with friends and eat a lot of food. So see you very soon. Thanks for watching and listening. And oh, one thing I forgot to say, the winner for the advent calendar has been announced in the other video. It was a winner from comments from the other video that got the prize, which is, her name is Sophie, and her handle is Les Mercier on YouTube, and so she's the one that won this beautiful prize. I hope to be able to gift some more stuff on my channel. If you have stuff that you would like to donate, please reach out to me. And in the meantime, again, goodbye. Have a good time. I don't know what to say. Just knit and be happy.